Last year, we did a review on Eminem's album Revival, and this past Labor Day, Eminem surprised us with a response album to all the criticism he was getting for that. And although he didn't call us out directly, I can't help but feel a little targeted by that just because I want to have an inflated ego. So, Eminem, if you listen to our show, I'm sorry. Real talk.
I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day.
Welcome back, Season 2, baby, of Real Talk. I am the real Clemente, and guess what? It has been a long time coming since I was gonna get back to doing this. Didn't really know when I was gonna get back to doing this. You know what? I didn't even plan on disappearing for 4 months, but it kind of just happened, and you know what I did with my summer? I got pink eye, and I went to sleep. That's about it. That's all I did the last 4 months, except for one other thing that I did back in May. You know how I started this show talking about how much I hated college? Well, I finally did the one thing I set out to do so many years ago. I graduated, bitches. Oh, it feels so good to say, and I don't say it enough to remind myself. If you've graduated, you know that feeling. You got to kind of remind yourself that you made it. If you haven't graduated yet, believe me, it's going to feel as good as it sounds. It's over. I never have to do more homework in my life. I'm done. I got my bachelor's degree in criminology with a minor in psychology. That's exactly what I had planned to do when I'm going into high school at like 2010. And now here I am in 2018, and I did it. I can't say that it was a fulfilling journey. I can't say that it was worth the trials and tribulations. I made a lot of good memories along the way, and then I made none, and then I finished. Pretty awful. But some of you guys haven't graduated yet, so this episode's for you. You're going back to school. I just gotta get this off my chest real quick. Ha ha, ha ha ha. You're going back to school. Sorry, I had something in my throat. I had to get it out. But yeah, you're going back to school. I'm not. Enjoy that. I'm just going to keep reminding myself of that because that makes me smile. So I'm going to do a little episode for you, and I'm going to turn my phone on silent. That's probably a good idea. I should have done that at the beginning. I fell off, dude. I forgot what it takes. I got to keep my phone on silent when doing this shit. Where was I? You know what? Yeah. It's school time, man. A lot of you guys have been in school for years, as long as me, longer than me, not as long as me. You guys know what it's like. I'm sure you guys remember each grade of school growing up, everything that went into it and developing who you are. We all had different experiences. We all have a different story, but we all kind of experienced the same thing. I'm going to tell you guys what I learned in school. And I'm going to pass this knowledge along to all the kids and all the people my age who are trying to remember everything they learned at school. These are valuable lessons. I've been in school, like 16, maybe 17 years. I must have learned something. You're right. I learned a few things, actually. I don't hate learning. I love learning. Teaching myself new things every day, trying to expand my knowledge and just grow mentally. And, you know, I love learning. I really absolutely love it to death. Which is why it's such a shame that I've come to just hate school. I hate it with a passion. I hated every year of it. I loved the experiences I had in it, but I hated the very framework that makes up school for every kid in America. I'm very blessed to go to school. Obviously, I'm not trashing free education, yada, 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 all that crap. What I hate are just these very certain aspects of my upbringing within the school system. Pain in the ass. First of all, hey, has anyone even learned anything after 8th grade? I mean, tell me something you learned in high school that you remember right now. You're probably naming one or two things, but hey, you were there for 4 years. 180 days times 4, dude. It's almost 1,000 days that you had high school, and you could name one or two things? That's not good. Has anyone even learned anything after 8th grade? I think in 8th grade I learned, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally with math. I think I learned that tobacco was a cash crop. And I learned that The Outsiders was a book and then also a movie. And that's it. I don't think I learned anything after that. Everything before that, though, is just detrimental to your well-being. That's why, like, schools technically allow you to drop out once you reach, like, 10th grade. Everything before 8th grade, you need to be a human being. Everything after 8th grade, you're supposed to need, you know? First, second, third, all the way through 7th grade, you're learning, you know, important math that you do use every day. You're learning words, language, communication skills, basic history that makes up your country, science knowledge, you know, countries, all that shit. Everything that makes the world turn, you're learning. After 8th grade, it's all just like, I can't even make a joke because I don't remember. Mitochondria, you know? That's it. Remember elementary school? Dude, first off, am I the only one that thinks that when you were in elementary school, you were just like the most mature you could ever be, and you don't remember feeling young and naive? You felt like everything was really dramatic and really intense because you were 9. But now looking back on like 9-year-olds now, you're like, dude, you know nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but elementary school was rough, man. Kids are tough. Teachers are tough on you. I wasn't the type of kid that would act up in class or start fights for the dumbest reasons or throw a chair or anything like that. I wasn't like that, dude. I would talk all the time. I'm always talking in class. My teachers hated me. I hated going back to school because I knew that my new teachers were only going to like me for about 3 weeks and then just keep me inside for recess for the rest of them. Just because I always talked, man. I always had something to say. I was always making noise in class. I was always disrupting class. And looking back on it, dude, if I was a teacher, I'd do the same damn thing. I'd hate me. But, nah, I love messing around in class. Dude, girls never got in trouble in class. I don't care who you were. If you were a girl, dude, you never got in trouble in class. You were always like so well behaved. And then there's me just fucking screaming about who even knows what anymore, dude. But you better believe I was screaming. I was an animal in there. Hey, did lice stop being a thing? Because I feel like having lice and the fear of having lice is only a thing when you're in elementary school. I mean, obviously, kids in high school are washing their hair and stuff normally and have good hygiene. But, dude, lice was so prominent and such a real fear in elementary school. And then I haven't heard of someone having lice in, like, 8 years. Where did lice go? I don't know about you, but some of my elementary schools, I went to a couple different ones. They would do like regular lice checkups, and that was always the scariest thing. Like all the kids would line up in the gym class, and one by one they go behind the curtain, and the nurse would check them for lice. That's how rumors started, man. You do that, and then the next day, some kid is out of school, like because they got a cold or something, or they have a doctor's appointment. Dude, the whole school thinks they have lice. Doesn't matter. Elementary school is rough, dude. Always starting rumors. I remember in elementary school, you'd always get picked on for liking childish things, even though you were very much a child, you know? You're like, I don't like Finding Nemo. That's lame, dude. I'm 10. I'm too old for that crap. And then you turn 16, 17. You're like, oh, dude, Finding Nemo? What are you talking about? I'm an adult. And then you turn like 20 and you're like, dude, Finding Nemo's the shit. Love it. It's such a weird dynamic. Like, as you're growing, you want to be an adult when you're like 11. I was never really much on the whole cooties thing in elementary school. I didn't really believe in cooties. It was kind of like a myth. Kind of like a myth. Obviously, cooties is a fucking myth, but and then like fifth, sixth grade, dude. I tell you right now, the greatest thing you could ever hear as a boy in fifth or sixth grade was that somebody liked you. Dude, someone come up to me and said, well, I'm not going to say their name because they might listen to this, but dude, so-and-so likes you. Hey, you tell me that, my week is made. I'm Macho Man walking down the hallway, dude. Nothing can stop me. I'm walking down the hallway. I'm so on top of my game when I hear that somebody likes me, and then they like someone else next week. I'm like, all right, well, that was fun. Such a weird thing, dude. Elementary school culture. It's strange. I remember the hypest days in elementary schools would be the days that we have assemblies in the gymnasium and everyone gets on the bleachers and watches like some performance about Columbus Day or something like that. Loved it, dude. You get out of class like that, like, wow, what a day. No. You know what single-handedly, universally is accepted as the greatest day in elementary school is? Field trip day. I know you guys went on some bomb-ass field trips, and then you also went on some really boring field trips. I think the best field trip I ever went on was Washington, D.C., and I went there for a week in 5th or 6th grade, and we stayed at a hotel room for like a week. Such a bomb-ass time. And then I went on some other lame field trips to like a farm down the road, and I got to see how corn was picked. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, let me go ahead and stand in the sun for 3.5 hours just to see how corn is picked. Hey, bring me back to school. I want to do math problems. You know what stuck with me from elementary school even longer than anything I ever learned that I use every day? Every time I write something in pen on my hand, before I finish writing that thing on my hand to remember later, I feel like literally out of nowhere, this 8-year-old is going to jump at me and say, you're going to get ink poisoning. I'm like, dude, calm down, Nathan. I'm not doing a fucking stick and poke tattoo. I'm writing a number on my hand. Relax. Dude, kids worry about some weird stuff, man. They start some weird rumors that really stick with you. Like, hey, who started the rumor that Marilyn Manson got his bottom ribs removed to give himself oral sex? Who started that? I've seen that in multiple schools in multiple states. Where did that come from? That is so widespread that I actually think it's real. As an adult, I actually believe it because it's just so common knowledge. I think more people believe in that than believe in global warming. Dude, when I was in 3rd grade, this kid told me that Michael Jackson was going to come and kill me in the night. I believed him. I mean, obviously, looking back on it, it's just about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But, dude, when I was sitting on the bus and that kid hopped over the seat, he's like, Michael Jackson's going to come kill you in your sleep. I was mortified, dude. How did this kid know? Oh, man, if only, right? Dude, you think elementary school's bad? Wait till you get to middle school, all right? When I have a kid, I have a son or daughter, I'm going to tell them straight up. When they enter 6th grade or they enter 7th grade, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, look, you are about to begin the worst part of your life. You may think you're hot shit, but as soon as you open up your yearbook a year from now and look back on your school photo, you're gonna want to shower, okay? Middle school is disgusting. Dude, I look back on my middle school yearbooks right now. I mean, obviously, no one likes their 7th grade, 8th grade yearbook photos, but dog, what were we doing? You know? It's I don't even middle school was such a weird just enigma to me. That was when teachers really started pushing like sex ed and prison time and no drugs and all that stuff. I was like, dude, they talked about drugs and not doing drugs so much in middle school that I felt like all of us were maniacs on the brink of collapse. Like we were all just one snide comment away from snapping and smoking meth. Okay? I thought we were all criminals. I just don't get it, 7th grade, 8th grade, that's when you kind of just stop learning and you start growing for real. Puberty's a weird thing. When people like you in elementary school, it kind of evolves in middle school, and it's like you claim to be dating and you claim to be in love. Like, dude, it could be like Tuesday, fourth block, and you hear that a girl likes you, and you get her phone number, and then on the bus you start texting her, and then that night before your parents cook you dinner, you tell her you love her. Like, that's middle school. And then the next week you break up, and you claim that she was cheating on you, and meanwhile you were 11. Dude, middle school is so whack. Hey, FYI, if you claim that your first girlfriend or boyfriend was in middle school, doesn't count. Doesn't count. Hey, are you texting behind your mom's back? Are you too young and you have to get a note to get off the bus at a different stop? You're not dating. You're just talking. Sorry and shit. There were a couple girls I talked to in middle school. Not girlfriends. Sorry. I think I told a couple girls that I love them, and only because I felt like that's what you were supposed to do, because I heard my dad tell my mom that, So, doesn't count. Doesn't count. And then when you break, but hold on, like, dude, if you got a boyfriend, girlfriend in middle school, doesn't count. But if you break up, oh man, it's the end of the world. You'll never get over it. Man, you think you're a grown adult when you're in middle school. Man, when I was in 7th grade, okay, I'm gonna tell you a little story. When I was in 7th grade, I went over to my buddy's house, and at this time, I was wearing like this Army National Guard dog tag that I got from like a recruiting booth or something at a concert. It was 7th grade. I was wearing this National Guard dog tag. So dumb. Such a hip style choice, And we were playing Xbox at my buddy's house, and his little brother came down, asked me why I was wearing the National Guard dog tag. And his little brother was like, I don't know, a lot younger than us. I told his little brother that I was in the Army. Okay? He was like, nah. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm in the Army. I'm a soldier. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah. Dude, I've blown up tanks before. He's like, nah. Like, he wasn't believing me, but he was kind of like, okay, this guy's older than me. It might be true. I was like, yeah, man, I blew up a tank. It's a big explosion. It's nothing like on the video games. He was like, where was it? or something like that, dude. He started believing me, and I was 12. I was a 12-year-old National Guard soldier, okay? Kids are weird, man. You have no idea how small you really are when you're in middle school. Oh, hey, by the way, 8th grade formals. Stop it. I remember those stupid dances in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade where all the dudes who stand in a circle at recess would come after school in the gymnasium dressed in their button-down shirt and stand in the same circle. And then, like, act excited about stuff. And then maybe, just maybe, they gave away or they sold Monster Energy at the school dance, and you could only have one, and they write an X in your hand. And you give an 8th grader Monster Energy, they're like, oh, this must be what alcohol is like. Okay. High school is such a monumental part in anyone's life, though. I feel like high school's hit or miss. You either love high school or you hate high school. I'm fortunate enough to where I loved it, but I know a lot of kids hate it, and I respect that. High school is a scary place, man. Imagine the worst parts of middle school and the best parts of college meshed together, and you have to pick a side. Okay? First of all, hey, are you a freshman in high school? You're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna think you're hot compared to 8th graders, 7th graders below you, because you're like, oh, dude, I'm in high school. I'm too old for that, even though you were an 8th grader about 2.5 months ago. But if you're a freshman and a senior walks by, you better look at the ground and walk away, because you are just gonna be so intimidated, it doesn't even matter. Dude, when you're a freshman, seniors are like gods, okay? They're so tall and they're so adult. You're like, whoa, he's so old. Dude, being a freshman is such a scary thing, you know? Because you still don't know how to dress. You still dress really whack, and you're like growing up. 10th grade's pretty dope. You start to figure out who you are. And then, dude, your second day of 10th grade, you're like, wow, I can't wait to see how these freshmen are acting, thinking they're hot shit. Meanwhile, you were freshmen like 2.5 months ago. Oh, Freshman Fridays, everyone. Even though no one does anything. Freshman Fridays, we're going to prank all the freshmen. And then when you were freshmen, you're like, oh, God, I hope Freshman Friday's not a real thing. And meanwhile, nobody does anything. High school is kind of when you start to discover that you hate school. I know that's when I discovered that I started to hate school. Looking back on it, I have respect for all my high school teachers. I really do. I like them all. But in that moment in high school, you kind of just start to butt heads with teachers. When teachers would crack down on you for talking in class in middle school, you'd be like, all right, fine, I guess I'm losing recess. In high school, a teacher will just like, you'll be talking in class and the teacher's going to do their stupid little, all right, I'll wait. And they stand up there with judgy eyes. High school, you're just going to be like, yeah, that's right, you keep waiting. And then you get detention, and then you're like, man, I'm dropping out. How dramatic are high schoolers? Teachers, man, I'll tell you. You know, I actually contemplated while I was in high school, or even middle school, I contemplated becoming a teacher when I grew up, just so I could be that cool teacher that everyone respects. But then I low-key wanted to stand at the front of the class and be like, all right, I'll wait. Got something you want to share with the rest of the class? High school, man. High school is just some punks. Dude, I was a punk in high school. I think in 9th grade, yeah, it was 9th grade, this kid I went to school with climbed on top of the truck that delivered the cafeteria meals. Don't know why. But even more than I don't know why he climbed up there, I don't know why I pulled him off and thought it would be a good idea up until the point where he hit his head and fell on the ground. Don't know why. You know? That's my bro, though. Shout out to him. He knows who he is. Dude, high school is something else. But you know what I really learned in school? The number one thing I learned in school, I learned that everything is structured. Everything is laid out. Everything is formulaic. You're taught material just to pass tests and get numbers and percentages and all that. You know the deal. I hate that, you know? Really bums me out. so many times did me and other people in my class ask, hey, why do I need to know this? We needed to know it so we could pass the test so the school could get funding. I don't remember any of it. But we passed, you know? You know what we didn't learn in school? How to do taxes. You know what we didn't learn in school? How insurance works. How to buy a house. I'm glad I learned how to drive. Never learned how to buy a car. How to apply for a credit card. What goes into a wedding. What a retirement plan is. That's stuff I wish I knew. You know? I would have loved to have been taught how to do my own taxes. Or how to save for retirement. But I wasn't. Instead, I was taught about sulfites and the Proterozoic era and how to read a story in an EOG test. That's what I was taught. I don't fear death. I fear wasting my life. And I feel as though I wasted so much of my life in school. I don't waste my life on learning. Absolutely not. Learning is such a valuable thing to do. But, man, I wish there was another way. So as I sit here and I look at this degree on the wall, I think about the years I spent acquiring class credits for this. I think about all of the message board discussions I had to reply to. I think about the $420 something I had to spend on a parking pass so I could drive to my one class a day 2 years in a row. I think about all the times I skipped class and all the times I could have skipped class. And I just wonder, is there another way, you know? You know what I would do? I would trade in this bachelor's degree for one time machine trip to 3 years ago. So I could not go and enjoy my life and get those 3 years back. It was supposed to be 2, but I failed 2 classes my first semester, and I took my second semester off. I don't know, man. I'm bitter about it, you know? Let me tell you this story. In May, when I was getting this degree, let me tell you how awful this experience was. Just to cap off my unenjoyment of the school. So, it was a Tuesday. My last class ever. It was Latin 102. It was my second language course. It was the only class I needed left to get my bachelor's degree. I took a final exam. This final exam was weighted so heavily, and my grade was moderate. It was like an 85, 87. This final exam was weighted so heavily that if I failed it, it would sag my grade down to below failing, and I'd have to retake it and not get my degree. But if I passed it, I'd graduate and I'd be done with college. So I studied and I studied the weekend before. I'd never studied for anything like that in my life. I went into it. And I thought I did all right. But I couldn't tell. I was like, oh man, I don't know. I really bombed that reading passage. Graduation ceremony is on Saturday. I got 3 days to find out if I'm done with college or if I'm not done with college. Day 1 goes by. The grade doesn't hit Blackboard. I'm starting to get a little nervous. Day 2 goes by. Grade doesn't hit Blackboard. I'm getting worried. I called the teacher's office multiple times. No answer. She wasn't answering. I called it multiple times throughout the day. No answer. Day 3, no grade. I'm calling, no answer. I called the office, no answer. I called student affairs, no answer. I called financial aid, no answer. Dude, we're supposed to be graduating tomorrow. Am I graduating or nah? It's the morning of. That Saturday. Okay, graduation ceremony is this afternoon. Did I graduate? I look on Blackboard. What do I find? Nothing. No grade. I call the office. Call the teacher. Over and over again. I've sent her like 4 emails. I call my advisor. I call just about everybody I could. I called the damn library. No answers. I'm a nervous wreck. Hey, did I graduate college or nah? Graduation ceremony begins, and of course I'm not there. Not because I didn't know if I was graduating, but because I never wanted to go anyways. But it would still be nice to know, you know? I'm still calling, no answer. I'm like, whatever, you know? Oh well. I checked the next day, Sunday. Still no grade, still no answer, nothing. I'm still calling. Must have been like 40, 50 calls by now. Monday rolls around. I'm like, all right, well, it's a weekday. The teacher must be getting their final grades in. Still nothing. Teacher's not answering. The office isn't answering. Student affairs be like, well, the final grades should be posted by now. And if not, they should be posted tonight. I'm like, all right, fine. Tuesday morning, a week after the exam, I check Blackboard. Still no damn grade. I'm pissed. I'm calling the teacher's office. Dude, the phone picks up and then hangs up. What? I'm furious. I keep calling. Finally, my professor answers. I'm like, hey, look, I explained. I'm like, look, did I pass? Did I graduate? Or do I have to go back another semester? You know what this professor tells me? Oh, hey, yeah, you passed. I saw your emails. I just haven't been in the office. Yeah, you graduated. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it would have been nice to, you know, celebrate last week when I graduated. But no, you know, glad you could get back to me. Sorry to bother you. And that's the last communication I had with my college. And you know what? That is a fitting end to my hell of a journey at my university. Awful. Day 1 to the last day, I hated every step of it. Dude, the day before my first day, my orientation day, because I was a freshman, I had literally the last pick at classes. I had to just pick from whatever scraps had seats available. I was like, all right, well, I don't really know. And the people that were helping me at this college that I'd never known before, I'm like, okay, well, how do I do this? They're like, you should have learned how to do this before. I'm like, what the hell did you just... Dude, I've never been here. I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what classes I need. Ended up with crap classes. Failed them. Missed a semester. Had to figure everything out on my own. And struggled the whole way there. Dog, I hate school. I love learning. I hate school. I really do. If you're in school right now and you're just itching to get out of it, Trust me, your time will come, and it's going to feel fantastic. I'm free, you know? I feel like I was blind before, and now I can see. Man, I said elementary school kids were dramatic. Look at me, you know? Anyways, I'm done. I'm free. It's over. Thank God. And now to start paying for it. Ay, ay, ay. Dude, someone had the audacity to ask me a week after I finished my last class. So you're going to start applying for jobs? Hey, no, I'm not. You know why? First of all, because I'm good where I am right now, but also I just finished. Let me take a nap, okay? Dude, I hate school. I'm so glad I'm done with it. Thank you guys for listening to me. Another episode of Rant Talk with the ranting Clemente. You know what? Look at the bright side, though. I'm done with the bane of my existence. It should be smooth sailing and happy from here. You know? At least it should be. That's the plan. We're going to see. And you know what? You're going to see with me. Because I'm back. I love my Real Talk. I love my Real Talk fans. And quick shout out to all of you that were asking where the next episode of the podcast was in that time where I wasn't doing anything. You know, lets me know that you guys are real. I appreciate it. I always have appreciated you. So thank you guys. What have you guys done with your summer? You see Infinity War? Of course you did. Cinematic masterpiece. Saw a bunch of movies. More movies coming out. I like movies, man. I really do. I hope you guys are going into a good school year. If you are. If you're not going into a school year, I hope you're going into a good year anyways. We're going to keep up with it, you know? We're going to keep on trucking away. This thing's running a little long, so I'm going to cut it. I love you guys. I do. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you've gotten this far, thank you. If you didn't make it past the middle school segment of this episode, you know, thank you anyways. It's good to get back. It's good to be back, you know? So, I will have more episodes coming. It may have looked like we haven't done anything, but we've been working. Believe me. Oh, by the way, did you hear that song that we dropped? Psyched Up? Dude, dope. Guess who produced that beat? I did. That was my buddy's song. He did fantastic. Go check it out. It's on the channel. Psyched Up by TJB. TJB did a fantastic job delivering on that. And it was my first real time producing a rap beat. You know, go check it out. I think it's pretty dope. I'm pretty proud of myself. So I produced that shit. Go check it out. You know? We might just do more. We got some good responses to that. We do have more stuff coming. The hiatus is over, baby. I'm back. Back to the grind at my not a real job. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see, want to hear. I appreciate it. Subscribe to Not a Real Job Productions on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, NRJ_Productions, at NRJ Productions on Twitter. Let us know, you know. You got questions or comments or you want to shout out on the air, reach out to us through one of those sites. We have been working. My other buddy on the channel, he's still in school. We got someone else joining the onboard pretty soon, actually. And we're going to have some more stuff for you guys. Thank you guys for supporting. It makes me really happy. It really makes my day. I'm really dragging this ending out because it just feels so nice to be back. This is my comfort zone, man. I really do like it. It's fun for me, you know? I don't know. I love you guys. Spread the word. I'm back. And I'm here to stay until I disappear for 4 more months. Anyways. Until next time, and since the last time, it's been real.